So the Chicago Sky, like, I don't know what they're trying to do, but it appears they're trying to win. I thought, you know what, they're gonna be smart about it. They're gonna probably tank for the next 2 years because, like, if you want to, like, again, if you want to have a good future, if you want to build through the players, like build through your third pick, build through Camila Cardoso, build through Angel Reese. Like, the reality is, if you wanted to do that, I think that the easiest thing to do in that scenario is to tank till the Juju Watkins year. And you might be saying, oh, but like, that's 3 seasons that those players are going to have to tank. Man, Kelsey Mitchell went like she hardly won a game for first 6 seasons. I think anything more than those 3 seasons, yeah, but like, nah, I'd still, if you're asking me, I would still have done that. But you can see the Sky plan for the number 3 pick might include trading it. Takes a little bit to adjust to our league, but in all reality, we're going to be looking for wings when we can get them. So that's what they're looking for, are the wings. And the reality is that the best wing in this draft is probably going for like a Sonia Citron. Like, if you were going for a wing, that's probably who you're looking for. And in my opinion, Sonia Citron is not worth taking with the 3rd pick. Like, she might be there at 10, but that's just a might. There's no guarantee. And then other players like Janiyah Barker, I don't know about Janiyah Barker's fit with the team. There's a lot of scenarios where I'm like, I think there are just not that many players that they want. They want shooting and they want wings. Unless, again, is it too high to waste a pick on Dina Paupau, who might be the most obvious player for them to take? And that's the thing where it's like, if you're willing to take Paupau, then you might be able to get her at 10. And like, that's the thing where it's like, if there are players that you could get at the 10th pick, like, do you take them? Do you just waste a 3rd pick on them, or do you try trade down? What do you look to do? And I think there might be a potential trade. Obviously, Kiki Iriafen, they're not going to get her. But the AZ Fudd one is interesting, because if AZ Fudd does come back and she's as good as some people think she's going to be, then I think they just draft AZ Fudd. But I think by the end of the season, I'd be shocked if AZ Fudd is not a 2nd rounder. Or to be honest, I'd be shocked if she doesn't go back. I reckon she's going to go back to UConn, unless she has an unbelievably good year. But obviously they don't need Iriafen. Takes a little bit of time to adjust. Implying that the player he's looking for might not be found in the draft. What team would be interested in this guy's 3rd pick and have a shooter? This is the weirdest one. One intriguing option is Ray Burrell, whose averages don't paint the full picture of the kind of shooter she might develop into. Like, I'm sorry, you are not trading the 3rd pick for Ray Burrell. I think Ray Burrell's pretty good. Like, I don't think she is a bad player. Look, I don't think Ray Burrell is the best player in the world, but I don't think she's bad. But, like, she wasn't a major part of the Sparks team. And the Sparks sucked last year. The Sparks absolutely sucked. So, like, for me, I can't justify Ray Burrell. I just can't. But obviously the Sparks got the 2nd pick. Her logs in the second half of the season offer potential. Why would you, unless you can get something else? And like, they don't have the 2026 pick. And like, Hamby doesn't suit. You're not going to get any of their other young players for that 3rd pick. I don't really know what they're thinking about. The problem is, like, Olivia Miles cannot shoot the ball. Like, that is where the big problem comes with this whole thing. Is that, I get it. People are like, oh, Olivia Miles, she's shooting like, what, 40% from 3. Man, like, the sample size is too small. It's on like 20 shots. Through her career, she has been genuinely like a sub 20% 3-point shooter. Like, she is not shooting. She's not going to shoot the ball well. And again, I could be wrong, and I kind of hope I am wrong, because if Olivia Miles does come in, like, if she can shoot like this for the rest of the year in college, and, well, one, if she can shoot like this for the rest of the year in college, she should be shooting more. She shouldn't be having such a low attempts per game. But, like, if she can do that, then obviously you take Olivia Miles. Olivia Miles, if she can shoot, she's not going 3rd. Like, that's the reality of the situation, is that if Olivia Miles can shoot, there is a 0% chance she's there at 3. You're going to have Kiki Iriafen there at 3. and you're probably going to look to trade down. What I would consider for the trade, if you are like dead set on not losing out on too much, like what the pick that you have in 2026, I think it's like the Sun or Mercury pick. I don't think it's their own pick that they have. I would package that pick, and I would package that pick with what you call it. I'd package that pick with the third pick for the 9th pick and Jewel Lloyd. That's what the 9th pick and Jewel Lloyd. That's what I'd do. Because, hear me out, it almost guarantees you are getting one of Aja Sivka, Sonia Citrin, or Tahina Paupau. The 3 players that fit your team the best. You are probably almost guaranteed to get one of them, and possibly 2 of them. Like, you could come out of this draft, and the reality is that with 3 and 10, you could potentially come out of the draft with Aja Sivka and or even like Tahina Paupau. Let's just say you don't want to lose Tahina Paupau and you take her 3rd, and then Sonia Citrin or Sivka are there at 10. You could walk out of the draft like that. But you could also walk out of the draft with 9 and 10 and getting those same players as well. So, and then you get Jewel Lloyd as well. Because obviously Jewel Lloyd wants out. Jewel Lloyd wants out of Seattle. There's no way in hell Seattle Storm are starting next season with Jewel Lloyd and Skylar Diggins-Smith. After some of the stuff that, like, Skylar Diggins is liking hate posts about Jewel Lloyd on Instagram. There is a 0% chance, and I mean this, 0% chance that Jewel Lloyd ends up playing for, or maybe Skylar Diggins is going to be there for sale, for trade. And if Skylar Diggins is there for trade, do you consider that? Maybe she's a bit old. But if you can manage to get yourselves Jewel Lloyd, a good shooter in the draft, or potentially 2 shooters in the draft, and you're not even giving up your own pick in 2026, the sky might be dangerous. Like a lineup of Carter Lloyd, and we've seen, as much as she is a shot chucker, Jewel Lloyd also at times ran the point for USA, and she wasn't that bad at doing it. So you can have Carter Lloyd, not the best backcourt, but like you don't run the starters that many minutes. And then you have like Onyenwere on the wing and Reese Cardoso. So you've got like Lloyd, who, like, look, she's not gonna shoot 26% again. You got 2 scorers there, and you've got a like legit 2 bigs, and you've got Onyenwere, and then let's say hypothetically you get Sonia Citrin. You've got your long-term player at that 3 with a bit of length and shooting. So by the end of the season, maybe Sonia Citrin starts, and you've got your shooting there. And then you've got Tahina Paupau to come off the bench, so Kennedy Carter and Jewel Lloyd can play. Or maybe you start Tahina Paupau. Maybe you start Paupau and you bring Kennedy Carter off the bench as the 6th woman, when she's the best, where she'd be the best 6th woman in the league. So it becomes very interesting if you can make that trade. But I reckon they do trade it because the players that they want, they're going to be available at 3, but they're also going to be available at 7. And then there's also scenarios where maybe you go and look to trade down. Like, I don't think, maybe you could trade down with the Mystics. Like, if Kiki Iriafan's there at 3, you maybe trade with the Mystics. Trade like 6 and a 2026 first. Well, they're not going to make that trade. You trade like, I don't know, 6 and a 2027 pick swap. 2020, you're not going to get a 2027 first. But like a way of going from 3 down to 6, and your player is definitely still going to be on the board there at 6, and you've still got that 10th pick. And the one thing about this draft is it is very deep, just not very deep for wings. And again, with that 10th pick, maybe AZ Fudd's available. So there's a lot of good things the Chicago Sky can do with trading that pick. But I do think it's going to be more of a situation of they might want to trade down. Especially if it becomes... because, look, Olivia Miles is not the greatest fit there. If they want to keep Kennedy Carter. If they don't want to keep Kennedy Carter, you take Olivia Miles. And you don't question it. Kiki Iriafen is not the greatest fit there. And other than that, this seems to be one of those drafts where picks 4 to 12 are interchangeable. Like, it seems to be a given that that Kiki Riffen is not dropping below 3. That seems to be a given. And it seems to be almost a given that Olivia Miles, based on talent, is going to go top 3. So, but that next crop of players between Sivka, Malonga, Morrow, Citron, Pow Pow, Barker, all of those players you've seen on multiple mock drafts are completely interchangeable. And it all just depends on what teams need and what they're going to be looking for in the offseason. Obviously, because the draft is after free agency, teams are going to see what they need. So it's going to be a really interesting one there anyway. I think they trade it, but I think they trade down. I think it's going to be a scenario where they will end up trading that pick, but it will likely be to go down in the draft. Because I still think the Sky are going to come out with 2 picks. I think more so than anything, they're going to go and look to move down. Otherwise, maybe if the are tanking, if the Mystics are tanking, because you've got off a lot of salary in Bree Turner and Izzy Harrison. So maybe you could make a trade if you want a wing. And I know maybe not the greatest shooter in the world, but she is a good defender. She can score and she can shoot from the mid and create her own shot. If you can make like an, I don't know, let's just say 6 and Ariel Atkins for 3. If you're the Mystics. Something like that maybe could work. Or, yeah, like if you're looking to win right away. Because I think the Mystics are going to try and move off like the likes of Sykes, Ariel Atkins, Carly Samuelson, Steph Dolson. I think the Mystics are going to go with the full tank mode. Otherwise, they wouldn't have fired the T-Boss. Either way, though, that is a video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.